guys, I'm Desikan, and in this video we're going to be talking about all of the deals that you can get during the Nykaa Pink Friday sale. I think this is one of their biggest sales of the year, but I haven't seen the preview of it. So I'm basing this video off the previous sales because I have been doing this for so long, so many times that I kind of have an idea most of the times how much this goes for, and I will try to like cross-reference it as well. And in this video I have some of my favorite recommendations. I have some of my favorite products that you must try out, affordable and high-end, but I also will be talking about products that maybe you can avoid during the sale just in case you're very tempted to pick it up. Some of these are very popular products. So I'm going through this by categories. Anyways, let's get started. First up, for primer, I'm going to be talking about, you guys already I think would have guessed it, this is my favorite primer of all times. And I feel that this one primer does it for me, and I don't really ever reach out for other primers. This one is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. I can see that e.l.f. is going on buy one get one, so it is the ideal time to pick it up. So this is something that, you know, it makes your makeup really nice and glowy. It makes that product adhere onto it really well, and it's one of the most used primers in my collection. Like, this is a repurchase, that's how much I love it. You can also try out either one of these primers. This one is the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Primer, which I'm not even sure it goes on really good discount on Nykaa, but on Myntra, Ajio and everything, you can actually get this on a much better deal. This is the Easy Blur Primer, which is a really nice smoothing primer. It's a very nice silicone free primer, which I like to use just on my T-zone. But this one from e.l.f., this is their Poreless Putty Primer. This one is their liquid version of it. This I can use all over my face, and this is also a really nice blurring, pore filling primer, especially when you have a lot of texture right here. You can use this one. I don't know why my blush looks a little unblended today, but I used a new blush and I was super disappointed with it. Okay, next up, we're moving on to the next category, which is skin tints. I have a lot of skin tints because that is one of my favorite products to use, especially on a daily basis. I really love to use skin tints and concealers. Those are like my favorite products, and foundations come after that. So I have a lot of skin tints to recommend to you guys. This one is the Makeup Forever Super Boost Skin Tint. This one was a pretty recent launch. I got this in the shade number 06. This is a really nice skin tint. It's what I have on my face right now. It looks exactly like a skin tint should. You don't really get intense amount of coverage with this, but it just looks so good and natural on the skin. It has a subtle dewy finish, but it's not too dewy or oily looking, and it's also not too matte, so I really like it. And don't expect to build it to intense amount of coverage and anything, but it just looks like your second skin. I absolutely love this skin tint. And then another product is the Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer, which you can always find on really good discount, like flat 40%, flat 30% off even on Myntra. So you can decide the place you want to try this out. This is an oil-free moisturizer, which is a little bit dewy on my skin as well. It has very light coverage, but it looks like second skin. It looks so buttery. It looks smooth, seamless, and when you have such kind of products on your face, it looks like you don't really have a lot of base makeup on. It just looks like, you know, you look so put together, but you've not done a lot. That's how this one looks as well. So you can pick and choose the one you like according to the budget, according to the brand you prefer. I'm just recommending all of my favorite products. Of course, this is a recommendation video. The other skin tints that I talked about are something that you can use irrespective of your skin type, but this one is something especially for people with dry skin, winter months. It's a little bit thick and creamy. It's a little bit glowy. I absolutely love it, but it's also one of those skin tints that has fetched me the most amount of compliments. This one is the Urban Decay Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. This goes on like 30 or flat 40% off, and that's the reason it's a great steal to pick it up. I got this one in the shade 41 Light Medium, which is a really good match for my skin. I love the way this looks. It's so glowy. It has really good coverage, like a medium coverage, and it just looks so healthy and amazing. Like, if you are filming a video, if you wanted to photograph, or you just have these special occasions where you don't want to look like, you know, you have a lot of cakey makeup on, but just something that is looking very natural, you can try this out. It is so good, you guys, but don't try this out if you live in humid climates. If it's very hot, you get very sweaty, you would hate this, but otherwise this is such a good product. And then from the affordable range comparatively, this L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour tinted serum. I love this. A lot of you guys have asked me, do you recommend this one or the House of Makeup one? The House of Makeup skin tint is again something that is specifically for people with dry skin and during the colder months. But this is something you can wear year round. You can wear it irrespective of your skin type, and it's also a very buildable product. You can keep it very light medium or medium coverage. It's not something that gives you super full coverage, but it does give you medium coverage. Now this one is something that is not super dewy and not super super matte as well. Now you don't see any hint of dewiness, like any glow when you're wearing this product on, but I feel like it looks so natural on my skin and I absolutely love it. And it's been a really long time since I've tried out a L'Oreal product that worked out really well for my skin. Either it's like too matte, it oxidizes a lot, or the shade match would be so absurd, but this one is really good. I got this one in the shade that I already mentioned, 6-7 tan. So tan is lighter than the shade medium tan. Okay, and the next skin tint we have is now recently available on Nykaa as well. This one is a Kylie Cosmetics Skin Tint Blurring Elixir. It's again a very nice lightweight product, but it is a little bit dewy looking, so I really like it for that. And it's not something that's very thick. Like the Herb and Decay one is a little bit thick and dewy. This one is like thin and dewy. It looks so nice and glowy on the skin. But my biggest diff with this product is that the shade range is abysmal, and I got this one in the shade 5N. Okay, it's like tan or something like that, and even this is a little bit too neutral for my skin tone, and it doesn't look like a perfect match. It's like ashy looking, so I'm not sure what is the shade you can pick up this in, but if you have a good shade match in this, you would really love this product. It is a little bit blurring. It is something that looks really nice, fresh and healthy on the skin as well. Another product that is comparatively affordable in terms of price point, but it's still a little bit pricey for the brand. This is Fay Beauty. This is in the shade 42N, and this is priced at 1050. You can always find it on discount. This one is their Face Card Super Serum Skin Tint. This is a pretty recent launch, and you can see I feel like the packaging is very similar to the Kylie Cosmetics Skin Tint, and even the formulation is a little bit similar to that. Like it's very thin. It has that dewy finish, but this one is borderline oily. So if you have oily skin, if you live in humid climate, I'm not sure you'd like it, because I don't feel like the formulation is uniform throughout. And once you like apply it on your hand and then put it on your face, you can see that it kind of splits, you know, you can see the pigment dispersing a little bit differently and all of that. And also it starts to smell a little different as time progresses. Like when I first initially got it, I didn't observe any kind of bad smell, but over time I have been noticing that it smells a little bit different. This, in my opinion, is something you can skip out, but what I really have to appreciate this brand with is that the number of shades. I think there are 40 shades, which no other brand has come up with in a skin tint. So there is high chances you would find a shade match for yourself in this, but the formula might not be everybody's favorite. And now moving on to concealer palettes, I just have two of it which I wanted to talk to you guys about. Both of it is not an affordable brand, but I absolutely love this face palette. This one is the Makeup Forever HD Skin Face Essentials palette. This is pretty much always on discount, like year round. So if you can find it on a better discount during the sale, you can pick it up. This is in the shade Harmony 2, and I love it. I've used this so much. More than the blushes, I really like the concealers and everything. But even this one is like you can mix and match, get the shade to work for yourself. But it is a little bit thin, like it's not a very thick product, so it's not very pigmented. And if you want a lot of coverage, you don't get that with this palette, but you get a very seamless everyday finish with this, and I love it for that. And also another product, another face palette with similar kind of finish. You know, it's not thick, it's not cakey, so it doesn't give you intense amount of coverage, but it does the job really well. Doesn't cake crease as much. Is the M.A.C concealer palette. I have this one in the shade Medium Deep. I've recommended this pretty much in every sale, because I feel like if you are a beginner in makeup, you're a makeup artist, or you just don't want to invest in too many products for your face, because you have varying different pigmentation around your face. So somewhere it's a little bit light, somewhere it's a little bit dark. You can use this and mix and match. You get a really nice color corrector, and all of these shades are something I use. And then moving on to foundations, this one is the e.l.f. Soft Glam Satin Foundation. This is a really nice product. Like if you wanted something that looks like high-end foundation on your face, you know, it's not too thick, not cakey, but not a matte foundation. It has a subtle dewy finish on the skin. It's beautiful and very skin-like. You can try this out. It has that exact same finish, like a satin finish. I have this one in the shade Medium 33, which is a pretty good match for me. It's medium warm. I really love this foundation. I would compare this to like the Dior Forever Glow foundation. That is a beautiful foundation which fetches me so much compliments, but it is a very pricey foundation and rarely comes on discount. So you can try this out if you wanted a, you know, comparable foundation. Full coverage foundation with pretty much matte finish, like a demi matte finish. You can't see that much of a dewy finish to this. This one is the M.A.C high coverage foundation. This, you know, just two pumps of this will give you full coverage for your entire face. You can use this for your special occasions as well. This compares to the Charlotte Tilbury Flawless Finish foundation. So if you wanted a good alternative for that, you can try this out. It is one of the best affordable foundations in the market, and I think they have a shade expansion as well, so check this one out if you wanted something more matte, more full coverage. And then something like a soft matte finish, not as matte looking as that one, is from K Beauty. This one is a soft matte full coverage foundation, and I have this one in the shade 145N, I believe, and this is not a very good match for me. I find it to be a little bit too pink looking, and that's the case with a lot of K Beauty foundations, like especially like their neutral foundations. Neutral leans a lot more towards pink, so try out why if like they're yellow warm foundations if you are around neutral or golden undertone. Okay, but this finish is really nice, and the lasting power is something I really like, but it is a little bit pricey, so if you have the budget and it is on a really good discount, you can try it out. And another product from K Beauty is this K Beauty Hydra Cloud Cushion Foundation. This is the best foundation launched from K Beauty in my opinion. I love the finish of this. I got this one in the shade 145N medium, but this is not leaning that much pink, and it matches my skin tone really well. It looks like skin, really good coverage as well, and it's somewhat similar to the Tinted one. The Tinted one can be a little bit like, you know, maybe a little bit too matte for you. This is not like that. It's very skin-like but has the same coverage like the Tinted foundation does. So if you wanted to try out the Tinted one and you feel like you don't probably like the finish of this, you could try the K Beauty one, or skip the K Beauty one and just get the Tinted one. Tinted comes in a lot of different like packaging. This one is of lighter coverage, very like BB cream skin tint kind of a finish with this one, and this is more matte. So if you have oily skin, you can try this out. If you have dry skin but want like something for everyday use, you can try this out. This is like an everyday friendly product. All of this, I have this one in the shade 29N Natural Beige, and this one I have in the shade 31N French Beige, which is a little bit dark and it does oxidize a little bit for me, but I don't mind it. So this is a product I feel like it's very buildable. You can keep it light, medium, or like medium high coverage. So that's the reason I prefer this over this. This over this. Now coming to foundations from the high-end category, I know a lot of people really like this NARS light reflecting foundation, but for some reason on my skin it doesn't look good. It looks very cakey, it just looks powdery, and I don't really like the shade match, which is Barcelona, and ideally this should be my perfect shade match, but I don't really like the undertone. It's just extremely like pale, and the depth of the foundation is not something that I really like. Over that, I prefer the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation, which is a little bit more on the matte side, but it's not like a drying cakey matte, and it has amazing coverage as well. And this foundation, I have it in the shade Valencia, which is a little bit dark for me, but I don't really mind that because the undertone is pretty good. It's just that it's a little too deep. This one is a little too light. My perfect match would be right in between both of these foundations. So yeah, I would suggest the Radiant Longwear foundation. The Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk, I picked this one up because so many people love this and rave about it, but this is so powdery looking and it emphasizes any texture, anything on my face, and I just don't really like how this foundation looks. And this was a pricey one and I regret picking this up. This is in the shade 6.5. The shade match is also a little bit too neutral, but that is not even the disappointment for me. The formulation is something that just didn't work out. And another favorite foundation of mine that I recently picked up from Makeup Forever, and I have used this quite a bit ever since I got this, is their HD Skin Hydra Glow Foundation. This is like glass skin in a bottle. I love it. It doesn't have that thick consistency, so it's a little bit runny, and I love the finish of this. I don't really get a lot of coverage with it, but I don't mind that. I just love how, you know, my skin looks like glass when I wear this, so I love it for that reason. And my perfect shade match in this is 2N26. And then moving on to concealers, I have quite a lot of concealers to talk about because you guys know I use concealers on a daily basis, and that's all I pretty much need. Okay, so I have some that I want you to pick up, some I want you to stay away from, so I'm going to be quick with this. First one I'm going to be talking about are all high-end concealers, okay, because I have my favorite right here and I just caught my eye and I just want to get it over with. This one is the Lancome Tint Idole Ultra Wear All Over Concealer, which you can find Lancome pretty much on really good discount most of the times, and this is one of the best concealers I've ever used. It's my daily go-to concealer. It doesn't give me intense coverage, but somehow it just makes you look so put together, so like, you know, effortless and like a very polished makeup. So this one, the skin tints and all of that just look really good on a day-to-day basis. So this one with a little bit of blush and you're good to go. It just looks really nice. So I absolutely love this. It's great for people with dry skin as well as oily skin, but you don't really get a lot of coverage with this, so just keep that in mind. And I don't even really set this concealer. It gives me a good wear time of about 4 to 5 hours, after which it does start to like fade away a little bit, but somehow even by the end of the day it looks really nice. I've worn this for like 8 hours, 10, 12, everything, and I really like it. But for like a concealer that I would swear by for special occasions, if I want really good coverage, I don't have to set it, but it doesn't crease, doesn't cake, and lasts really long, is a Too Faced Born This Way multi-use sculpting concealer. This is something you have to try out if you want something for special occasions like that. Like, you know, you don't really want it for daily use, but like special occasions, you would love this. I have this in sand and golden beige, I believe. Both of it works out pretty well for my skin tone, and it's a really good concealer. Like, I tried a lot of different concealers today, nothing worked out, and I stuck to this, and it's what I have underneath my eyes. It just doesn't cake up or makes it feel bad, like heavy and cakey. And another concealer which is a little bit creamy and really nice is the Packed McGrath concealer as well. Really nice for people with dry skin. If you have a lot of dry patches underneath your eyes, you also want to use it for all over your face. This is really nice. It does crease a little bit because it's a little bit thick and creamy, but I don't really mind that. I love this concealer. This Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Concealer, it is a little bit shimmery looking, so it looks fresh, it looks amazing, it looks healthy, it doesn't have a lot of coverage, but under certain light you can see a lot of shimmer particles. If you're in for something like that, you can try this out, otherwise just stay away from it. I feel like for people with like paler undertones and like paler skin tones, it doesn't look that bad, but if you have like intense dark circles and you're someone of a deeper skin tone, it's very visible, the shimmer in this. So I'm not sure how this is a very cult favorite product. I like it, like I've used it. I liked how fresh and healthy my skin was looking until I checked myself in a like, you know, a little bit of a dim bathroom light, and I was like, what? I had this much shimmer all over my face all this time? Then if you wanted full coverage matte concealer, you have oily skin, you wanted something to stay put, this one is the Urban Decay Naked Quickie Multi-Use Concealer. This is always on discount again. Urban Decay concealer, this is really nice. You get a really good, you get really good quantity in this. I got this in the shade 50NN, which is a pretty decent match for my skin tone. It's a little bit of a brightening, lighter concealer. If like my tongue is rolling so much, it's because I'm trying to cover so many products in a very less span of time, and I'm trying to talk really fast, okay? Because I can't go through all of these products if I was like, so the next product I have right here is this one. I can't talk like that. This one is the MAC Studio Radiance Concealer. This is really like cakey for my under eye area, but I love this for spot concealing and for using it like all over my face. It has really good coverage and lasting power. Like if you have oily under eye area, I think you would really like it. But if you have dry skin, stay away from this. And the same thing goes with the YSL All Hours Concealer. This is for people with oily skin. If you have dry skin, anywhere remote dryness, just stay away from this. It's not very long lasting as well, and I don't really like the shade match of this as well. I got this one in the shade MN7, which is a bit too pink for my liking. Huda Beauty for Filter Concealer. This is in the shade Granola 4.5G, a really nice concealer. Like after my Lancome, this is another concealer I like to use on a day-to-day basis. It is a little bit, you know, thick. Like it's not very cakey, but it's also not very drying, and it gives me really good coverage and lasting power. So for those days when I feel like I want a little bit more coverage, I use this one. Concealer I would highly recommend you guys stay away from, because I recommended the Skin Tint. I wouldn't recommend the Kylie Cosmetics concealer, because this one is just such a wuss. Like it'll just fade away in just 2 to 3 minutes of applying, and it just cakes up. It just splits underneath your eyes. Such a bad formulation of a concealer this is. And then for more affordable concealers, next moving on to a little bit of affordable concealers, if you don't really have this in your collection, what are you doing? Because it's not even that pricey, and the formulation is amazing. No high-end brand compares to this formulation. This one is the M.A.C Cancel Concealer. My perfect match in this is the shade number 05. I think they've expanded the shade range of this. I'm not very sure if it's the foundation or this one, but wow, what a good concealer. Really good coverage, lasting power, doesn't cake, doesn't crease, doesn't fade away, looks amazing. It's like semi-matte, but also something that is so beautiful that it doesn't dry your under eye area out at all. Like I don't really have the most, you know, nourished, moisturized under eye area, and it doesn't dry my under eye area as well. So it's such a good product, and irrespective of a sale or not, I think this should be in your collection already. And if you wanted something similar to the Maybelline Instant Age Rewind, but not as matte, a little bit more of a runny formulation, but very light in terms of coverage, this one is the Insight Airbase Concealer. It is very light in terms of coverage, like I mentioned, and not the most long-lasting concealer, but it's affordable, and if in case you had the budget for something affordable, you can try this out. And then from e.l.f. I have this one. This one is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. They also have another one which is matte finish, which is very similar to the Urban Decay one and the Tarte Shape Tape one. This one is a hydrating version of that, which looks a lot better for people with dry skin. It is a little bit thick, it is a little bit creamy, it does crease a little bit, so just keep that in mind. But if you wanted to use it very lightly underneath your eyes and all over your face to conceal, spot conceal, everything, you can use this. And one of the best concealers that was lying in my collection, and I just kind of, started to like other products over this, started to use other products over this, and then came back to this and fell in love with this. Is the M.A.C Spotlight Liquid Concealer. This looks amazing underneath the eyes. It's just a little bit drying maybe, so if you moisturize your under eye area really well, it just lasts. It gives you good coverage, doesn't crease, and doesn't fade away in just an hour or so. So I really like this M.A.C Spotlight Concealer. It just looks seamless and doesn't like settle differently underneath your eyes. So, and then moving on to color correctors, I have to talk about my Bobbi Brown corrector stick. This is my favorite corrector stick of all time. This is in the shade Deep Peach, which I have used up a lot. I just have this much of it left, which I'm saving up for days when I really need color correction. It's so easy to apply, so easy to blend it, and then you can use any concealer on top of it, and it's just so nice. It doesn't mess up the concealer that goes on top of this one. It doesn't like crease, cake, or highlight that differently, which I feel like happens to me sometimes with the Huda Beauty 4 filter corrector, which I feel like it's a little bit too matte sometimes and can kind of cake up underneath my eyes and make the concealer that goes on top of this cakey as well. My other favorite color corrector is the e.l.f. Putty Color Correcting Eye Brightener, one of the best color correctors I have tried out, but the formulation of this one is very tricky. It's a little bit sticky on your skin, so just make sure to be aware of that. Like, you might get really disappointed when you touch it. It feels really sticky when you apply it. It can feel a little bit like patchy, and you can see that your finger marks are all over your face. But somehow if you get this one to blend, the formulation is amazing. The way it looks underneath your eyes is amazing. The coverage, the lasting power, and everything is amazing. Just that the texture itself is a little bit different to work with. And the NARS Color Correcting Eye Brightener, it's a decent color corrector, not something that I'm super impressed about, not something that I'm super disappointed with, but is it a skippable product? I think so. It's not my favorite. And then when it comes to the NARS Soft Matte Concealer, I feel like this is a really good concealer to use for spot concealing as opposed to using it underneath your eyes, because it can be a little bit drying and matte for your under eye area. But for spot concealing, if you have a lot of pigmentation, if you have like acne marks, scars, or anything, just use this. It just gets it covered so well. And then setting powders, okay? I'm not a very big setting powder person, but there are a few that I have kept right here to recommend to you guys, because I know a lot of you really love to set your under eye area, set all over your face. You have probably oily skin, so if you are here for my recommendations for loose powder, it is the one and only Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Powder. Dry skin, oily skin, any skin type, any weather condition, you would love this. It's super fine. It's just amazing. It just sets your concealer, your face makeup so well. It doesn't make it look oily in just like an hour or two, and it doesn't look heavy and cakey as well. So even if you have dry skin, textured skin, mature skin, you would love this. But I wouldn't say the same thing for these two. This one is a Laura Mercier loose powder, and this one is a K-Beauty loose powder. I feel like these are specifically for people with oily skin or people who live in very humid conditions. You feel like, you have extreme like sweaty face. Your makeup is just looking very oily. These will save you. But if you have dry skin or you live in weather conditions like Bangalore, where it gets a little bit cold and dry, you would hate these loose powders. I've tried it out. I felt like it was just sitting on my skin so differently. It was just making my skin look very, very dry and sort of like cracking up. And then more than loose powders, I'm a pressed powder kind of a person, and I have a few that I can recommend to you guys. This one is the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Setting Powder, which is really nice. It's a finely milled powder, but it can be a little bit heavy if you have dry skin, like very, very dry under eye area. And sometimes when I use a matte concealer and I use this, it just feels like desert. Okay, so I wanted to try out something like a better option. This is a really nice powder, especially like if you have normal oily combination oily skin type, weather condition is again hot, you would love this. But I feel like the NARS soft matte advanced perfecting powder. This one is in the shade Bay. Is so much better than that. It's so finely milled, it's so soft, and it sets the concealer so well. It is not making it look heavy, not making it look cakey. So I love this one over that. And something else I also recently discovered is this Too Faced Born This Way Soft Blur Flexible Finish Setting Powder. So I use this as like a setting powder, not a finishing powder, and I liked it. Like, I had a lot of like texture right here. It sort of does blur it really well. I really like this powder so far from what I've tried it out. So if you want to try it out, you can, and this also comes on really good discount. Now if you are someone who is looking for a pressed powder on a really good discount, because this always comes on really good discount, this one is the Huda Beauty Easy Bake and Snatch Banana Bread Powder. This one is a pressed brightening and setting powder. So this is more like, I feel like more than a setting powder, you can use this like a brightening powder. Like, you know, you're done with your makeup, you're done with setting it with a loose powder, but you just wanted to add a little bit of brightness. You wanted to snatch your face, you wanted to like chisel out your cheekbone with a powder. You can use this one. I think it would work as a good setting powder for people with oily skin, but for dry skin it's not. So if you've got this and you don't really know how to use it, I think you can use it as like a, you know, brightening powder like I mentioned. And from the affordable range, a good pressed powder is the Swiss Beauty Select Focus FX Translucent Powder. This is talc free. It's a really nice finely milled powder that will give you that, you know, super nice finish. It will set your makeup in place. But I wish that they had a banana version of this, because it would work out so much better for people of my skin tone and people who are of a deeper skin tone. This doesn't really have like that intense white cast or anything, but I prefer a more yellow powder, but the combination of this one is super fine and nice. Then for a powder foundation, this one is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place Matte Powder Foundation. This one is in the shade 4N2 Spice Sand. This shade is amazing for my skin tone. For some reason, it's just a perfect match. It doesn't oxidize too much, and it just looks so good. It's not a very like cakey matte high coverage powder foundation, but it just has the right amount of coverage, right amount of softness as well, and it just sets your makeup and in place. Or if you're not using makeup all over your face, you just wanted to use this all over your face, it adds a light amount of coverage as well, but it's not like intensely pigmented. And for that reason, I actually really like it. It doesn't make my face look cakey heavy, which a lot of powder foundations do, and I don't tend to reach out for a lot of powder foundations. But if you wanted to try out other powder foundation, you can try out the L'Oreal Infallible 24-hour Fresh Wear Powder Foundation. This one is like that matte, heavy powder foundation. So you have to prep your skin accordingly and use this. So you can like probably use a really nice hydrating primer, then use your concealer, blush, liquid blush or whatever, everything, and then use this as the last step for coverage and everything. This would work out. So yeah, I prefer the Estee Lauder one so much more. And then now moving on to blushes, I have quite a few blushes to talk to you guys about. Of course, the e.l.f. liquid blush. I have so many shades of this, and this is my most used shade. This one is called Bronze Bombshell. Beautiful bronzy shade. It does have shimmer particles in it, but it's not visible on your skin. It doesn't translate that way. Even when it fades away, you don't really see a lot of shimmer particles. I also really like this shade called Berry Well, but I don't really like pink toned, berry toned blushes on my skin tone, but you can try these shades out. My recent favorite is the L'Oreal Lumi Liquid Blush. This is in the shade Worth It Medium. This actually can have a lot of visible shimmer particles. I noticed it in a different lighting, but it doesn't look bad. And I'm not someone who likes a lot of shimmer particles in my blush, but for some reason this one doesn't like irk me that much. M.A.C Blush Hour liquid blush. This one is in the shade Night Glow. There are so many different shades in this one. This just looks amazing, like a high-end blush on your skin. It has a little bit of dewy finish to it, which makes it so much nicer, natural looking, and it does have a really good wear time depending on how you're building on your blush. And then the Fay Beauty liquid blush in the shade Nutty. This is an exact like dupe for the Huda Beauty one, and it doesn't last on my skin more than 2 hours. I noticed that this one does fade away from my face a little sooner than expected, like 2-hour mark, and I see that there's no blush left, but I really like that it has this very seamless finish, very easy to blend and very everyday friendly sort of a blush. So when I don't really have a very long day, I like a blush like this. And then this Pixie Beauty blush, which is something that I like to use on a day-to-day basis. This doesn't work for you when you have a full coverage foundation on, like a lot of products, like a pigmented foundation. This wouldn't show up on you. But when you have like just concealer and a like tinted moisturizer or a BB cream and you just wanted a very natural looking blush, this works out so well for that. And then I recently picked up this Charlotte Tilbury Unreal Blush Healthy Glow Stick. I like that it has that, you know, beautiful glow on the skin, but for some reason it doesn't look natural. It was starting to look a little bit like very unblended on my skin, so I'm not sure if I really like this, but if you wanted to, you can pick it up. I have this one in the shade Cherry Glow. Again, I didn't really like this shade match as well. It looked a little too red, like it doesn't have that balance of tones. But from Charlotte Tilbury, one of my favorite blush of all time is this one. This is the Beautiful Skin Island Glow Lip and Cheek Sunset Bronze Glow. I use this just on my cheeks. It's a beautiful bronzy shade like the e.l.f. blush in a cream or pot format. I don't really use this on my lips, but just on my cheek. It gives you this beautiful glow. It's not a matte blush, so I really love it for that reason. And then moving on to powder blush, the only powder blush I recommend to you guys is this one from Too Faced. This one is in the shade Velvet Crush. It is blurring, it is smoothing on your face. There's nothing much I can describe to this. They have so many different shades. Pick up whichever one you like. There are so many different powder blushes in the market, like this one from NARS, you know. This is in the shade Orgasm. Then there's Deep Throat. All of this look chalky, ashy. I don't really like the formulation of these. They are not worth it. I picked it up because they were available in a set and for a really good discount. NARS has these sets that come on really good discount. If you wanted to, you can try it out. This workout only for people of lighter. Now moving on to bronzers. My favorite bronzer of all time is this one from Too Faced. This one is a Chocolate Soleil bronzer. It is beautiful. It's blendable. It shows up really nice on my skin. It has a warm undertone. That's the reason I really like it. I don't really like anything that's very cool toned and has an ashy undertone, which is why I don't really reach out for this NARS Laguna 02 cream bronzer. It's a really nice cream bronzer. Don't get me wrong, like it's very pigmented. It is something that you can work on. It's very easy to work with as well, even if you are a beginner. It has a very cool undertone and it's a nice product to contour, and which is one of the reasons I don't really use it as much. I should have picked up the shade 03, which looked a little bit more warm, and I like anything that adds warmth to my skin. And then a liquid bronzer that I can also recommend to you guys is this one from e.l.f. This is in the shade Medium. This has a very nice olive undertone to it, so if you're someone with olive undertone, you would really like this. For me, it's a little bit like unnatural to see that on my skin tone, but yeah, if you have olive undertones, you would really like it. The powder bronzers that I really like, Hula Caramel bronzer. This has the right amount of warmth to it. It adds the right amount of warmth to my skin tone. I really like this. I love the NARS Laguna bronzer. This one is the Laguna 04, and this shows up so well on my skin. And I've noticed that anything that has that subtle red undertone to it, you know, those are the bronzers that I gravitate towards, and those are the ones that look like extremely natural on my skin and look beautiful. It adds that right amount of warmth. It shows up really well. So this is my most used powder bronzer, and the original Hula is for people of lighter skin tone in my opinion, and this again works out for you if you want to like add a little bit of shadow to your skin as well. And then highlighters and base product, this Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Filter. I feel like so many people trash talk this. So many people tell that, you know, it's a very replaceable product. I find this to be so natural looking on my skin. I love it when I use it underneath foundations. It just makes it look healthy, glowy and radiant. So the Insight Radiance Filter is very similar to this for half the price, but it is extremely like fragrant. So that's the reason I'm just recommending this one. And for highlighters, either this is the M.A.C Glow Fly Liquid Highlighter or the K-Beauty Liquid Highlighter. This one is very runny. It's a little bit watery looking, and it is very natural looking on the skin. Okay, so you can try this out, or you can just stick to this one, because I feel like this beats all of the liquid highlighters I own in my collection, even the Dio ones and all of that. It looks creamy, it looks healthy, it's a little bit thick, but it's not too hard to work with. It doesn't have visible large shimmer particles to it. Even if you were to come really up close, it looks so nice. Like, it's a beautifully formulated product, and the way it's blended out is so good. And then for setting sprays, I have all of these. This one is the L'Oreal Infallible 3-second setting mist. Now, if you wanted a very foolproof makeup. Like if you wanted something to seal the deal for you, you can try this out. It'll just lock in your makeup, but it is extremely high in terms of fragrance. And if you have allergy, like allergic rhinitis, sinusitis, it will trigger it. So that's the reason I stay away from using this, but it is a good product. And the mist is also something that is a little bit harsh. Okay. This one is the Tinted Mask Fit Makeup Fixer. This is a really good makeup fixer. Again, it does make your makeup transfer proof pretty much. So you can try this out. And otherwise, you can try out the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Setting Spray, which I don't use a lot of this because I feel like it makes my makeup look a little bit matte once I'm done setting it with this. So that's the reason I don't really use this. But if you're someone with very oily skin, you want it to lock in your makeup, humid conditions, or you want it to be long wearing, try this out. And for me personally, I really like the e.l.f. Stay All Night Micro Finish Setting Mist. This is a very good dupe for the Urban Decay one. So you can pick up either one of it. It locks in my makeup, but also doesn't make it look extremely matte and doesn't change the texture of the makeup. And that's the reason I reach out for these two. And this one is a little bit glowy looking on my skin. This one is the Power Grip Dewy Setting Mist from e.l.f. So when I want my makeup to look a little bit fresh and dewy, I like to reach out for this one. So those are all the setting sprays I have. And then moving on to eye makeup. I have been someone who's been investing in single eyeshadows more than eyeshadow palettes because I feel like I reach out for single eyeshadows so much more. And that way I get to like customize the look and everything. My favorite single eyeshadow of late is this Too Faced Disco Crush eyeshadows. I have it in pretty much all of the shades. You can just pick and choose the one that works out the best for you. And they are one of the best eyeshadows I've tried out. They have that foil effect, but they don't really have a lot of fallout. They don't really flake on your eyes. They have really good pigmentation, so you don't really need to have a base eyeshadow. So these are the best single eyeshadows I've ever tried out. But if you wanted something like the Urban Decay one, you can try it out. It's not my favorite. I don't really see that it's very reflective, very foily looking. It's very subtle, so you can try it out if you wanted something that is very subtle. A similar one to the Urban Decay one is this one from e.l.f. So I have, I think, two or three shades from this. These are not very intensely pigmented again, so you need to have a base eyeshadow for these. And once you do, it does have a beautiful foily effect. Like when you look at it in the pan and touch it, it looks so dry and you'll be like, okay, why is this girl recommending this? But once you have a base eyeshadow of a shimmer and then apply this one on top, it just looks really nice and put together. I love this. I have used this quite a bit as well. And the M.A.C duochrome eyeshadows, these Northern Lights in a pan, every one of it. Like if you can find it on discount, and if you can pick up every one of it because it's that good. Every single shade of this is beautiful on the eyes, and it looks like you've put a lot of effort, but it's just one eyeshadow. And the recent launch from M.A.C, which are these Starlit pots, I would say just make sure to use this with a very, very light hand because otherwise they look extremely flaky and they have a lot of fallout. So you have to use a very light hand and apply it very carefully. Otherwise there will be fallout throughout the day, but it looks nice. For the price, it's good. It's comparable to the Too Faced one, just that this has a lot of fallout. Now moving on to eyeshadow palettes. This NARS eyeshadow palette, which is on discount most of the times or during every sale. This is their Afterglow Irresistible palette. I didn't expect to reach out for this so much, but I have been reaching out for this one so much because I think it's a smaller palette. The color scheme is not a lot and you don't really put your head into it too much. So you get to use it just without thinking too much about it. The blendability is so good. The shimmer shades are really nice and I almost always top it off with some other eyeshadow again, but I really love this. It's very nice. Doesn't have a lot of like, it doesn't look chalky on the eyes and doesn't look cheap. Of course, it's not a cheap product, but like some expensive eyeshadows can make your eye makeup cheap. I got this Charlotte Tilbury Luxury palette. This is in the shade Pillow Talk Dreams during a discount for flat 40% off. It was for around 2,000 rupees. And like if you wanted an eyeshadow palette to travel with, something that is very nice and put together, you can try this out. The color scheme is something that shows up really well on my skin tone as well. The shimmer shades are nice. They have that foil reflex. It's not too chalky, not something that's too subtle as well. It's a very nice palette, but it's nice only if you can pick it up on that price point that I mentioned, like flat 40% off. And Huda Beauty, of course, has a lot of these smaller eyeshadow palettes, which I feel are a little bit more worth your money than picking up their full-size palettes, because I don't really know how many people use like big eyeshadow palettes these days and how many people actually like get a lot of use out of it. But if you wanted to, you could try it out. Like this one, a Naughty Nude eyeshadow, is a really nice palette. If you have pigmented eyelids, if you have deeper skin tone, you would really like the color scheme of this. But I have noticed that over time, Huda Beauty eyeshadows, some of them just get a little bit too dry. Even the shimmer shades become like very meh, like they lose that luster that they have. Not all of the palettes and not all of the shades, but some of it. You can also try out this one. This is called their Empowered eyeshadow palette. Very gold color scheme, very nice. But a lot of these shimmers have like a lot of fallout and they can flake a little bit, so you can't apply too much of it, but you get a really nice eye look with this. And this is like something I have been reaching out for recently. This is the Pretty Grunge eyeshadow palette from Huda Beauty, and this is what it looks like. It's a little bit more like neutral, cool toned. I really like this as well. And this is the shade I used as my base. This is called Maverick. So how many people would really reach out for all of the shades in this one? How many people would actually use all of this? I'm not very sure. So pick and choose your battle, you guys. Don't have to buy everything because it's on discount. And for affordable eyeshadow, M.A.C is where it's at. These blooming eyeshadow palettes, they're small. They have a very good cohesive color scheme. The shimmer shades are so beautiful. Matte shades are so nice, pigmented, and it doesn't look bad. It just blends beautifully. So you can try this out. This one is pretty pricey for an affordable brand, but if you can find it on like flat 40% off or something, you can pick it up. This one is the Posh Beauty Showstopper palette. I have reached out for this one so much. I love the color scheme of this. I love the blendability, the pigmentation, the color selection, and everything of this palette. This was something I used to use non-stop at one point of time until I switched to all of these single eyeshadow palettes, but this is something I do recommend. So yeah, then lastly, moving on to lip balms. I like these Indie Wild Dewy Lip Treatments. They are really nice and hydrating on my very dry lips, so I reach out for it a lot. And then H&M is recently available on Nykaa. Every single time I always get asked like, what is that on your nails? And some of my most complimented nail polishes are from H&M. So I have this one in the shade Bitter Chocolate, which is a dark gray shade. This one is something you have to pick up. This is called Blue Planet. So look at this shade. It's so beautiful. It's a beautiful blue. This is like a gel finish and it doesn't fade away that easily. It looks really nice on the nails and it applies really well. It's not patchy, it's not too thick and goopy. This one in Sky High is one of the most complimented shades on me, so if you can find this again, you can pick it up. And this one is called A Day in London, which is a very light blue. I feel like blue is my shade. Like these kind of pastel blue shades are what works out for my skin tone really well. Lastly, perfume recommendations, most of it high-end, because I feel like if you can find it on discount, why shouldn't you pick it up? My most complimented scent, like you would expect, like you'll get compliments from unexpected people, unexpected places, and you'd be like, okay, if this person noticed my perfume, then it's a really nice one. This is the Lancome Idole perfume. I love the notes on this one. Not a very good perfume describer, but this just fetches me so much compliments, very long lasting, and it is a little bit of an intense scent. So if you have migraines, you don't really like strong powdery scents, you wouldn't like this. Most of my most complimented scents happen to lean a little bit powdery and all of that, but I like it. I'm also someone who's prone to headache, but this doesn't like cause me that headache. Okay. YSL Libre Intense is also something that is so nice, a beautiful date night scent, something I can see myself reaching out for only night times, particularly because of I think notes on this one, which makes me want to wear this only during the night time. I'm not going to be reading out the notes because it's a lot. Okay, Giorgio Armani C, very long lasting, again a little bit powdery, a little bit intense, so don't try it out if you don't really like those kind of scents. And my most worn perfume, like for daytime, is this one from Davidoff, Cool Water. This one is their Sea Rose variant, which is very feminine, very nice scent, you guys. I love this. And the closest for me to this scent is the Ramson's one, which I did a video on and got a lot of hate for, but it is a really nice perfume, a little bit too powdery than this one, but it's nice for the price point. So yeah, those were all of my perfume recommendations. I don't really have any skincare or like hair care recommendations because I've been using literally the same skincare every single time. So yeah, I know you would have noticed that I don't really have any lipstick recommendation in this video is because I want to film a separate video of my most used favorite lipsticks that you can pick up during the sale. So let me know if you want to watch that, and then I will film it, because if nobody's going to watch it, I am not interested to film clearly. So yeah, let me know if you want to watch a dedicated video on lipsticks. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys enjoyed this video and found it helpful. Do let me know what other videos you'd like to watch in the comments down below, and I'll see you guys in my next one. Bye.